Hello. I might be a little slow. I just got off the airplane. Just right off the plane to here. Once again, my name is Dr. Ryeal Sims. I am a neuropsychologist. I am a relationship expert, body language expert. I specialize in why we do what we do from an eco-biopsychosocial and spiritual point of view. When I say I'm a scientist, I am a scientist. But when I say I'm a scientist, I just want to make this clear. Scientist is merely the discovery of what God created. So I have a lot of arguments with my friends that are scientists because they just don't want to believe that everything that we've learned and everything that the ladies have just talked about so far, it's all God. So when I talk about science, all I'm talking about is what God created, right? Now, y'all might not like the beginning part of what I'm going to say. Throughout some of my dating, I could never say to any of my significant others that I'm faithful, committed, and devoted to them. Could never say that word to them. One day when I was in school, I had this deep conversation with the young lady, and I liked her. I liked the conversation. I was so intrigued. I was like, hey, let's talk again, you know. So and at that time I was a little radical too. And so I wanted to invite her to some of the meetings that we would have on the school campus. And I asked her for a telephone number. And she said, no, my boyfriend wouldn't like this. So I said, okay, so we kept talking a little bit more. And then I would ask again, well, look, we should get together. You would love our meetings and everything. You would just, it's like totally deep. We're talking about relationships and politics and everything. And give me your number. She said, no, my boyfriend wouldn't like this. So I got a little offended because I was like, wow. And I said, you know, you keep saying your boyfriend wouldn't like this. You guys are about to get married? You know, you're engaged, you know? And she said, no, I just met him. And I said, oh, wow, okay. And I made a little face, and she was like, why? Why did you look like that? I was like, I don't know, you just seem so committed, so faithful, so devoted to your boyfriend. And she said, I am. I'm very faithful. And I said, so the reason why you keep saying my boyfriend would like this by giving me a number, what exactly are you saying? She said, oh, come on now. You know, I give you the number, you call me, and you want to hook up, and it's going to lead to sex and all that. I said, oh, I see. So you're saying that the reason why I want your telephone number is because I want to lead to sex, right? And she was a nice looking young lady, but seriously, I was really honest this time. And so I was really honest, and I was like, oh wow. I said, okay, so what you're saying is that you don't want to have sex with me, right? And so what you're saying is that your boyfriend wouldn't like the idea that we exchange numbers, and I was going to introduce you to other people, not just me, right? And she said, I heard that little thing you just put in, the little sex, you know, the little slip. I did it on purpose, though. You know. I said, no. It just amazed me of how we as people, we're so dedicated and so faithful to our boyfriends and our girlfriends, right? And she said, so do you have a girlfriend? I said, well, no, not at this time. She said, so would you be faithful? I said, you know, I don't know if I just go out and start having sex with a whole bunch of people, right? But I wouldn't say that to her. And she said, what do you mean? Why wouldn't you tell her? She would probably want to know, right? And I said, well, no, I wouldn't tell her that I'm faithful, committed, and devoted to her. And she said, well, I'm glad I'm not your boyfriend, I'm your girlfriend, because I would want to know you're faithful to me. And I just wanted to explain to her that every day, and at that time I was in college, and I was every day, I get on my knees and I ask God to help me before I take this test. to help me when I'm reading, to prepare for the test, to help me find a job, to make sure that I'm still eating while I'm in school, to make sure that I have gas to get to work, right? All of these things that I'm praying to God that I know work. You know, I mean, I can see it. Every time I pray, I can see it happening. But the problem is that I really couldn't tell God, the God that I pray to, I had a problem telling God that I'll be faithful, committed, and devoted to Him by not having sex with her or with my girlfriend or with the girl that I am actually in relationships. I actually have to break this down to her. Please don't have me to say these words to you, because I cannot say these words to God, to the God who's going to help me, to everything that I named, I know you can't do for me. Right? All of these things that I'm talking about, you have no way of competing to the God that I believe in. Right? So please don't have me to say these words to you. And the reason why is that the minute I tell you that I'm faithful, committed, and devoted to you sexually, because we're talking about sex. That's when we're saying I'm faithful to Him, right? Because you can be in a relationship and be faithful to Him in a relationship and not be faithful to the sex. So a lot of us are being faithful to the sex, because that's what you really mean when you don't want to give me the number and you said, you know what the deal is, right? Because you're talking about sex and you're talking about being faithful into that. But see, the minute I tell you I'm faithful, committed, and devoted to you, you become my wife. You become my God. Because I'm telling you what I can't tell God. So when I go to God to pray to God, and then, hey, God, look, I'm getting ready to go get to this job interview, and He's like, hey, why are you coming to me? Go to your God. The God that you made the promise with, that you said you'll be faithful, committed, and devoted with, right? Because you can never tell me that, right? You never take out time to talk to me and say, hey, I'm faithful, committed, and devoted to you, and I'm not going to have sex till I get married, right? But you know you have a challenge with that, but yet you tell somebody else. And so what we're doing in this boyfriend-girlfriend relationship thing that's happening is that we're worshiping each other as gods. Just as we're speaking right now, there's somebody that just probably killed somebody over a girlfriend or over a boyfriend. Somebody that's going to prison, and then you stop them for a minute before they walk in and just say, excuse me, but were you guys engaged? No. We just met each other. We're not engaged. But I saw homeboy looking at my girl, disrespecting me, wasn't even thinking about getting married. And here you are fighting somebody else because you weren't faithful, devoted, and committed to that sex, not to that person. Because we're worshiping each other as gods. So if you do slip up, I'm just saying, when you're in a relationship, hey, don't be faithful to the sex, to the sin, right? Don't be faithful to the sin. And explain it. If you do have a boyfriend, I know some of y'all having sex, and if you are, don't be faithful to it. You can be faithful to the relationship, but don't be faithful to it, right? Don't let it come out your mouth, because the Bible says, and I'm just paraphrasing, thank you. It's not so much that goeth into the mouth, but what cometh out of the mouth that defiles a man. And that's why I could never say those words. Please don't let me say those words, because I can't say those words to God. I wouldn't have the degree that I have. I wouldn't have the other degree that I have, or the other degree that I have, or that last degree that I have. If it wasn't for me to get on my knees and pray, hey, thank you so much.